Hi everyone, so I'm Total and I thought it would be fun today to go through my commonplace journal and just organize it, because when I write, without putting the dots. So, because it's just easier. And then I will organize them later. I don't know if I will do the entire thing. There is quite a few pages, but I figured I could read some quotes and we could organize it together. If you hear noises, it's my cats going crazy. So here is the legend, which I later realized would have been more useful if I could just pull it out, because I'm bad with memory, and the reason why I'm bad with memory is one of the reasons why I keep a commonplace journal, because I tend to forget a lot, But so yeah, I can always open it, go there. Yeah, so by reading the quotes, maybe you find something inspiring, maybe you learn something new, Okay, so the first one, in the dark times, should the stars also go out? A quote from Disco Elysium. I have not played the Disco Elysium yet. I know about it and I've seen a lot of videos, but I just don't have time to play games. I started playing it, but didn't get too far just because of time, So since that's a quote, let's just put a little circle next to it, the blue one. And I really love this quote. I want to get it tattooed actually. It just talks about hope, It talks about hope. Okay, next one. Everything dies, baby, that's a fact, but maybe everything that dies someday comes back. I don't know where this is from. I just had it on my Pinterest, and I didn't look up the source, but yeah. I don't know, I liked it, it was fun. It's just a fun quote. Okay. Oh, next one is a good one. Okay, the less you eat, drink, and buy books, the less you go to the theater, the dance hall, the public house, the less you think, love, theorize, think, paint, fence, etc., the more you save, the greater becomes your treasure, which neither moths nor rust will devour, your capital. The less you are, the less you express your own life, the more you have. Yeah, the greater is your alienated life, but the greater is the store of your estranged being. By Karl Marx, from the Human Requirements and Division of Labor under the Rule of Private Property. I think this is my first video. You have not met me yet, but I'm a communist. I'm a marxist-leninist. And this is one of the most beautiful quotes Marx has ever written, and it's true. Yeah, of course it's easy to save money, if you're not going anywhere. And it's true, I keep saving money, and to save the money I need to give up on a lot of art. I have not gone to theater in many, many years. I have not gone to cinema in many, many years. I buy books very rarely. I download everything because I don't have enough money. I just don't. And of course, by not having money and by cutting down the parts of myself and my identity, of course my capital gets greater, but at which cost? And it's just a very, very beautiful quote. Anyway, I do have a little, I mark with red the communists, the communist stuff. Okay, there is a poem called Economics by Hanan Mikhail. I'm sorry, I don't really speak the language, but it's a very beautiful one. My name is Kamel. Last week I bought a television set. Next week I'll buy a fridge. And who knows, maybe next month I'll make enough to buy a washing machine, fully automatic. There is no end to my ambition. Perhaps I should have signed that petition the camp had sent the military governor for the 100th time, begging for electricity. Still, I was too busy hauling gravel for that superhighway connecting East Jerusalem with Tel Aviv. Besides, I would have been fired. Ahmad signed, and he never bought a television set. I think it's a very beautiful poem. It really moved me when I read it, and I think it's important to continue talking about Palestinians and what's happening in Palestine, and not just what's happening right now, but what's been happening for like 70 years. It's a lot of time, a lot of oppression, and they are not treated as equal citizens, But I was like, oh, this is going to be a fun journaling channel, but I cannot escape from my political opinions. To invading germs, you are a jungle full of hungry tigers. To your gut bacteria, you are a warm orchard of perpetual bounty. To your eyelash mites, you are a walking fortress and a mountaintop pasture. How many generations have you hosted? What do they name the wilderness of you? It's hosted by the Krypton. I cannot read my own handwriting, especially since it's like an internet username, but it's in his book Field Guide to the Haunted Forest. It can still be found, like no matter who wrote it. That's why I write usually these in caps, so I can actually find them later. It's a very beautiful quote. It really puts you in perspective, doesn't it, that you are not just living for yourself. There are many entities depending upon you staying alive. It's very beautiful. You host a whole ecosystem inside of you. To those bacteria, you are the only thing they've ever known and ever will know. It's very, very beautiful. And when I get sad, I think it's important to think about that you host a whole microcosmos inside of yourself. Parasites and other symbiotes outnumber free living organisms in both species and individual numbers, meaning that the norm for life on Earth is to live your whole life in or on another creature. By Boglage from Tumblr. I think that's a very good, thing to make aware, that you do not live alone, you do not exist alone, you exist in a relationship with other people. You cannot be alive alone. You depend on so many people throughout the entire day, and that's normal. You don't need to be scared of it. You don't need to act brave or act independent. You depend on the doctor when you're sick. You depend on the bus driver to take you around. You depend on the electricity people to give you electricity. It's how society is structured, and that's perfectly fine, and that's beautiful, and that's why humans who don't have claws or sharp teeth or poison or anything, that's why we succeeded. Because we stuck together. The first proof of civilization, as they say, is not the alphabet, it's the healed femur. Oh my god, I completely forgot to actually organize these. Okay. All of that is quotes. But I feel like this would also be learning, especially this one. And economics is the poem that's here, so we already have it. Let's see, poetry, the pink one. There. Okay. Finally, it's dark. A peaceful night, the stars telegraph. Nothing lasts by light. From Lullaby for Myself from Vahan Teryan. It's just very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. I don't know, it moves something into me. It's incredibly written. The image it evokes is beautiful. Let's add it to our poetry. You are called the bad dog even when you can't help it. On dogs. Tumblr's Sickness in Motion. It was like a web weaving whole spread based on dogs. It was very beautiful and full of rage, and I think many of us feel full of rage very often, and I think that's normal to feel like a dog that's about to bite. Okay. The wow signal was one of single impossibly strong radio signal picked up by the Big Ear telescope in 1977. We have never picked up a similar signal before or since, yet it remains the strongest possible evidence that we are not alone. It's evidence of something but not proof of anything, and the signal said 6EQUG5. That's very interesting. I was reading about it because I found it by somebody online. It was like this huge strong signal that, well, as it says, it's the proof that, well, it's not proof of anything, but it's the closest thing to a proof we had, like, about somebody being in the universe with us. I would need to read up more to see if they have actually researched that, because I don't want to spread misinformation. You know, perhaps it was like revealed, or we found out what it was, but basically they encountered a very strong signal, I think from around Jupiter. I'm really not certain. You see, the problem with this very small book is that I can't write my notes down because this space is very little. I got a much bigger one, Lightroom B5 now, so that I can actually study the things that I write down. But I still think, you know, it's a learning fun fact. Apparently it's because the signal was very like intentional and very pointed, so it didn't seem random like the rest of signals. Hey Japan instead of Duolingo for learning Japanese. I always want to learn Japanese, and I started learning it again. Just like kind of doing it at my own pace. Oh, we should have had a language .2. Well, why not? No, it also goes into resources, I guess. Okay. Yesterday, via Smirring, 1927. It's just a poem that I did not write down. The poem itself, I will look it up later. Vinegar plus bleach, chlorine gas. Ammonia plus bleach, chloramine. Rubbing alcohol plus bleach, chloroform. Hydrogen peroxide plus vinegar, peracetic acid. Yeah, I wrote that down because that's good to know, I think. It's very, very good to know, because just I see a lot of people like on TikTok mixing everything, and I'm like, that's so hazardous, please don't do that. I didn't write that down here though, because I don't mix anything. I wrote it down in case I need it for like a murder mystery. Encyclopedia of Religion by Lindsay Jones, a 15-volume masterwork made by hundreds of experts covering everything from Muslim Sufism to Slavic gods. I was very interested in this. I'm very, very interested in this book. I need to find it, well, all the 15 tomes of it, I guess, but this sounds very, very good. I read bits of it, and it just, you know, seems very well written and very well researched. Cloudhiker.net gives you a random internet website. Oh, that's fun. I kind of like explored a bit, but not too much. I want to explore more. You know, I love writing down these sites because, like, I will bookmark them on my Firefox. Oh yeah, use Firefox, please. I will bookmark them and then I will forget about them and never visit them. But in the commonplace journal, I will actually flip it and I will actually visit the site. One of the largest Zine libraries in the USA is in Denver. I don't know what CO means, which state it is. They house over 20,000 Zines and are still accepting donations. I love making Zines and I want to send them some of my Zines, and perhaps you would also like to find out things I write and make. Yeah. Goblin.tools, nifty little site for when things feel too big or complicated. I haven't looked up too much into it, but it seems very gentle and fun. My microphone. I'm going with it completely pointlessly. Charnel associated with that. Yeah, I started adding some cool words too because I enjoy words. I'm not the biggest fan of English language as it is. I prefer my mother tongue, but many of these words, are just very beautiful. How to do everything. David R. Massiver, I think. The Durham Massiver Substack.com. How to do everything. If you're stuck at how to get better at something, assume there's just a trick you missed. This is a pretty good Substack. I read it, and out of everything, which he does explain how to do certain things, which was less interesting to me, though it might be interesting too if you don't know how to do those things. But I think this is very important. Like, often when we are struggling with something and we are not good at it, we are usually missing a piece of knowledge, like a little trick of trade, which we can learn only by somebody telling us that, and we're not stupid for not knowing it. We are just in the dark about it. I don't know, how would you know that the doorbell ringing means somebody is at the door if you were never taught that it means that? Or how would you know that, let's say you're trying to understand color, but you don't know about the traffic lights and that red means stop and green means go. If you don't know things, of course you don't know them, and that's not your fault, Okay. Analog loophole. You cannot prevent digital media from being preserved analogically. Tape cassette recorders are compatible with every single thing. With them, you can record audio only by lying to your computer and telling it the recorder is a set of headphones. If you want a digital file, go to Audacity and say that the cassette recorder is a microphone. Then hit record on Audacity and play the tape. Pretty useful for digital preservation of media, because things, even if you stream them or buy them, are disappearing every single day. So I'm not advocating for anything, but fun idea to try. Change your Windows cursor or make no cities. I don't even know what I'm how I would categorize this. I guess resources too. Oh, it was a lot of resources, in a row. I guess there is a lot of things in the row because I'm going through my old Tumblr and writing down the things I have never visited that I would like to. Here is our resources that I tagged on my own Tumblr. Copy of film books on roster list of various books on filmmaking movies. Tumblr Merit Pickfords. Another resource. Yeah, I guess I was in the resource mode. But it's not about looking interesting or pretty, it's about being able to categorize things. The more I design, play, think about games, the firmer I become in my belief that the commonly espoused divide between narrative, flavor, aesthetics, and mechanics does not exist. By T.X. Tale. I don't know how to read it, but it's Tattletale. Instead of A, there is an X. She is a very dear mutual of mine, and I really respect her opinions on game design and TTRPGs, because I myself make TTRPGs and game design, and I have a lot of opinions about that. But let's put it as a quote, and let's put it just as an idea. It's not my idea, but it might inspire me for my own TTRPGs. And let's do the last one for today. Capitalism made your iPhone. No, labor made your iPhone. Labor makes things under any ism. The isms just determine who gets paid. By Arthur Chu. I think that's much more complicated, but it was posted on Twitter, and you only have 140 signs to actually say something. Okay, so that's it for today. I really hope you had fun with me, that you learned something new or heard something inspiring, and thank you so much, and I will see you again, hopefully. Bye bye.